What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to a brand new tutorial. This is Angelo from Caps on Fire, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to design your own car flag. Okay, so this is the flag that I'll be showing you guys how to design today. Shout out to the Atlanta United football team down here in Atlanta, Georgia. Love you guys. So this design I will be doing for my own personal use, since I do not own the rights to this logo, and this will be going on my car. Okay, so that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get straight into the tutorial. So first thing you want to do, you want to open up Gimp. Okay, when you open up Gimp, this area of your canvas is going to be completely blank. Okay, so to put a artboard right here, first thing you want to do is you want to come to image templates, click on that, and go to your actual template that you're going to be using. Okay, to make one of these, I'm gonna post a link down in the description below. It is my very first episode that I did on setting up a template for sublimation purposes. Okay, but just for you guys, I'm gonna just show you guys the how to just make one really fast. All right, so click on here. Let's name this one car flag. Car flag template. All right, so we're gonna do a 13 by 19 because that is the actual size of our paper. Okay, and that's the size that we need for our template to fit onto that paper. All right, so 13 by 19, and instead of portrait, we're gonna do landscape. We'll click down to advanced options. Make sure this is 300 and 300 pixels per inch. RGB color, we don't mess with these 2 or 3 things, we leave those alone. We come to fill with. Okay, we're just gonna do transparency, and we're gonna click OK. All right, and there we go, we got a new template. So now we just make sure that one is selected. We come down to this first icon and say create a new template from selected, or create a new image, my bad, from the selected template. So we'll click on that, and here we go, we got our artboard. Okay, so now the very first thing we want to do is we want to bring in our template. Okay, that'll let us know the dimensions that we are printing in. And once again, guys, everything that is in my video, there will be a link down in the description below. All you gotta do is just click on the link to find whatever you need. Okay, that's gonna include the car flag, where to get your car flags from, where to get this template from, the actual design program I'm using today, which is Gimp. You know, pretty much just everything else you need for this tutorial. Okay, so we got our white background. Let's go ahead and pull in our black foreground. Okay, and we're gonna make sure we have these lined up over here correct. Well, not lined up, make sure we have them arranged correctly. Okay, so we want our black foreground template, that's gonna be on the top, and that's gonna stay on the most top part. Okay, and our white background, this is gonna stay right above our regular background. Okay, so it'll be our regular background, this one, and then everything else from now on, all the other layers will be right here in the middle. Okay, so now that we have this up, next thing we want to do is we want to grab our Atlanta United logo. So let's just go down here to Google. We can type in, I already had mine typed in earlier from the one I just did. So you're gonna just type in Atlanta United logo transparent, because we do not want that background, and click on the images tab, and it should be this very first one. Okay, 2400 by 2400. So we'll just click on this, right click on it, and go down to save image as. All right, and I'm gonna just save it on my desktop. It's the easiest way for me to find it. Okay, and you guys situation, just save it wherever is the easiest place for you to find today. All right, and here we go, right here, Atlanta United logo. So we just hold it down, click hold down, drag to Gimp, and then drag and drop. Okay, boom. All right, and see, we have it layered right here in the middle, in between our white background and our black foreground. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is we want to make this a little bit bigger. You know, I want people to see what I got on my car while I'm driving. All right, very important thing. Okay, make sure you are in the correct layer. All right, so it selected these outer parts, which is not what we want. So let's come up to select none. Actually, just click on reset. Actually, let's just exit out of it. All right, so cool. So now we exit out of it. So now we want to come over here, make sure we are in the correct layer, which now we are. And then we make sure we have the scale tool clicked, which is good. And then we click on our image. All right, and here we go. So now we got these handles on the outside of our image. All right, we come up here, make sure this is like this, okay? Make sure this chain is all the way connected. You don't want it like this. That means when you go to resize it, it'll be unproportionate, okay? So if I click and drag, this is what will happen, okay? And we don't want that. All right, we're just gonna undo that. Check this box, and then we can come over here and we can drag it to where we want to. All right, and if you come here to the middle, you can move it to recenter it, okay? I highly suggest doing this instead of coming up here and clicking this move button, because if you click that move button, it'll shrink your image back down to that original size, okay? So we don't want to do any type of double work, and as always, we work smart, we do not work hard. All right, so we're gonna drag it to the middle. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. All right, and we center it. I think that's nice and centered. I'm gonna just eyeball it. All right, so after that, we just click this button here to scale, and it'll automatically scale our item to that size that we selected. Okay. All right, and there we go. Okay, so we're pretty much kind of like halfway done. I say about a good like 40% done. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is we want to change this background. Okay, I don't want this white background. I want my car flag to match the colors of the logo. Okay, so with this template, what I did was I put this line right here. All right, this thin line. Okay, this thin line represents the sleeve, this white area. Okay, this is the sleeve that will go on top of your pole. And the reason I did that is because let's say you want to make that sleeve, you know, a different color like black or orange or, you know, whatever color you want. And you want to have, you know, some text going down it or something like that. So I made this right here so it'll give you a better guide as to where to put your car flag on your sheets, okay, once you print it out for sublimation. All right, so as you can also tell, this black area right here that you see all around it, that's pretty much your border. Okay, if I was to hide that, you'll see that that border also covered the white edge, and the reason I did that is because that's going to be our bleed edge. All right, and I'll show you what we're talking about when we get closer to the end of that part. Okay, so now first thing we want to do is we want to change the color of our sleeve. All right, so we come up here to the rectangle select tool. We'll click on that, and you know what, before that, let's come up with 2 more layers. Okay, come down here to the bottom, click on create a new layer and add it to the image. All right, so we'll create a new layer, and we want to do, yes, of course, main flag background colors. Okay, background color. All right, and this is going to be the main part, which is everything where this Atlanta United logo is at, from here on the line on out. Okay, so that's going to be the main part. So of course we fill with transparency and we click OK. All right, so that's good, and that's in the right area as far as being lined up on our in our layers. And the next thing we want to do, we want to create another one, and this is going to be for the actual pole. Okay, so let's say pole flag background color, transparency as well, and click OK. So now we are in the pole flag background color layer. We want to come over here. Of course, we still have our rectangle select tool already selected. And now let's say I want to make, you know what, I want to make the pole black. Okay, and I want to match this black. All right, so we want to come down to, actually, let's select it first. So we'll just click and drag. We'll drag it a little bit over the line. All right, And let's make it a little bit bigger to come off our canvas just a tad. Now we come down here to the bucket fill tool. We'll click on that, and then we come down to tool options. Okay, we want to make sure foreground color fill is selected for the fill type. Now we come up to here to the foreground fill background colors, and of course this foreground fill color, this will always coincide with this square that's on top. Okay, this background color fill will always coincide with the square that is behind it. Okay, so if I take my bucket and right now I have foreground color filled and click over here, it will fill this whole area this color red because this foreground color is selected. Okay, but like I said, we want to make this part black. So to change that, we come to the red, and we left click on it, and we come down to this icon right here. It's an eyedropper. Okay, this eyedropper, you can select any color that's anywhere inside the Gimp screen, the Gimp application, the screen, and you can duplicate that color and you can save it right here on your panel. It'll save automatically right here on your panel. Okay, and this old color, which is the color that is currently selected, this old color right here will stay the same, but when you click this eyedropper and you select the new color, the current color, it will change to that color that you just selected with your eyedropper, and it'll load it right here in the panel, and it'll also change it right here for you. Okay, so we're gonna click on the eyedropper, come over to this color black we want, and boom. All right, so it changed the current color to that color we just selected. It added the color right here in the panel, and it also changed the color up here in that foreground square. All right, so once we do that, we'll just click OK. We come over with our bucket, we'll click inside that square, and it should fill everything in that square with that color we just selected. Okay, so we'll just wait a second, and there it goes. Okay, so now we got the pole a different color. Okay, so now we want to come down to our main flag background color. We'll select that layer, and make sure when you do that, come up here to select and select none. Okay, to get rid of that box. All right, so now we are in our main flag background color layer. We do the same thing we just did to the pole. All right, so we just come up here to the rectangle select tool, click it, go down to, actually no, once you click it, we'll come over and we'll highlight that part that we want to change. We want to change this whole background, the whole white part of the background. And once we do that, we come down to the bucket fill tool. Let's do a foreground fill color. And of course, we want to change that color to this color red. Okay, so come to the eyedropper, select that red, and it'll change it. We just click OK. Come over with our bucket, left click with our bucket, and it shall do the same thing. Okay, and we'll just give it a second. All right, my bad, you guys. My computer is just a tad bit slow. We ain't got to worry about that because I will be upgrading very, very soon. So now that's it. It got that part filled, but now it covered up our Atlanta logo. So now what we want to do is we want to drag this layer down underneath the Atlanta logo so we can have that part appear. So all you do is click on it and you can drag it down, or you can just make sure you select this layer, come down to this bottom button, and it'll lower that layer down one at a time. Okay, but we're just gonna click and drag it, you know, just to be a little faster. Alrighty, and that is pretty much that. Now to get rid of these white lines, these white dotted lines that are just moving along the edge, we'll come up to select and we'll go to select none. All right, So now what we want to do is all this excess that's on the outside of the border, we don't want that, okay? And the reason we don't want that is because we don't want to waste ink. Because if we're wasting ink, then we're wasting money, all right? And that's something that I hate wasting, okay? So to get rid of that outside border, what we want to do is we want to come down to this layer right here, okay? The one that came with the template, all right? The white background template, flag DP white background template. Select this layer, right click on it, and go to alpha to selection. All right. And when you do that, it'll create that white line that you just saw earlier that we just got rid of. It'll create that white line, but on this outer area, okay, of the template. See? So we want to get rid of what's on the outside. So now, since we got that selected, we come up to our colors, okay? Let's say our main flag background color, okay, which is going to be the red area. We will right click on that and we'll go to add layer mask. And we'll go to add layer mask. We make sure we have selection checked and click add. All right, and there you go. It'll delete everything that's on the outside of the moving white line, or whatever you would call it, on the outside of the actual selection. All right, so now we got that gone, and now we want to do our pole. Okay, we want to get rid of this black that's on the outside, well, this charcoal gray that's on the outside of our black border. So same thing, we'll just right click on it, go up to add layer mask, click on selection, press add, and it does the same thing, and get rid of that edge as well. So once it's done with this, I'm gonna just throw some text in here and that'll be it. Okay, so now that we have this, we just come up here to select none, and that's pretty much the basic part of this tutorial. Okay, like I said, I just want to throw some text in there, so I'll come over here to the text tool, select that. I'll do the freshman text because it's more of a sport theme. Size, I'll say 1/2 inch. Actually, I want to make it a little bigger, so I'll do 0.65. Okay, that's that. All right, and for the text, we just left click and we drag down and we type. Okay, so I'm gonna do A, enter, T, enter, L, A, and T, A, and then hit enter twice. UNITED. All right, Atlanta United. Okay, so we like that, so that's pretty much it for that part. What else do we want to do? Actually, nah, that's it. I like that. All right, so now we can just go to, let's move it down some. Okay, to make sure we're in our correct layer, we'll move it down a little bit. Put it over some, and I want to get rid of this excess little area right here, this yellow area. So now we'll just click back on our text tool, and to get rid of that, just make sure you're in that selected layer. Click inside, and it'll get a handle right here. Okay, this square handle that's at the bottom, not the corners, the one that's right here in the middle. So just left click on it, drag it up some, and that's it. Okay, click out of it somewhere else, and just click another option just to get rid of it altogether. Okay, and that, my friends, is pretty much it. And here is the importance of that bleed area. You see around the edge, like in between the gray, I'll zoom in for you guys, in between this gray and this black, if this bleed area was not here, it will be impossible for you to line up your flag directly on top of your design without having that white edge, that horrible looking white edge along the sides. Okay, so I made this area over here, this black area, for that purpose. Okay, so when I click it, it disappears, and you can lay your flag directly on top of this and it will fit perfectly within your image. So now you won't have those white lines along the edge of your flag. Okay, and as always, when you go to export this, export it hiding this layer. Okay, hiding this flag DP background foreground template, well, black foreground template. Okay, and the best way to do that is to just come right here, click this eye button, this eye icon, and it'll hide that layer from the view. And when you go to export it, it will export exactly how you see it right here. Okay, so now I just double check, make sure I spelled everything right. Yep, everything looked good. So this is how everything will come out. And once again, guys, when you get your car flags, you'll be able to sit down your car flag exactly inside this template, and everything will line up correctly, exactly the way you want it to, without getting that white edge along, well, without getting that white line along the edges of your flag. Okay, it will be a full color bleed. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and save this on our desktop. So we go to File and never hit Save. Okay, always export as. All right, so we go down to Export As, and we want to export it as a PNG. Okay, so we want to export it as a Atlanta United car flag, and I'm just gonna overwrite the one that I currently have, so that's cool with me. All right, actually I think I deleted that one. Yep, I did. So we're gonna export it as the Atlanta United car flag .png. We come down to export. This next box will come up. Between export and save as, when you're saving it as something, you're saving it as the actual file that you're going to be using within Gimp. Okay, and when you export it, you'll be exporting the image as an actual image. Okay, as a PNG file or as a PDF file. Okay, so once this box come up, just click export. And when you export it, you guys, it'll save it in that size that you need. Okay, the size that you made it. All right, so once that happens, we'll just go ahead and check the background and see if it's there, my desktop. And yep, here it is, Atlanta United car flag. Okay, so you guys, that is pretty much it. That is how you design your very own car flag in Gimp for Sublimation. Okay, so if you like everything you saw in this tutorial today, just go ahead and go down below, click the subscribe button. It will help out you guys 1000%. Okay, it will help out so much. All right, and also, once again, everything that was done in this tutorial, there will be links below. I mean, there will be links below as far as the design program that I'm using, the actual car flags, where you can get them from, and also the template if you want to be able to properly line stuff up the way you want it to. Okay, so all right, guys, that's it. That's pretty much everything. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you guys, in the very next video, I will be sublimating a car flag live on the video. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys all the tips and tricks on how to do that, but the only way to see the tips and tricks is you gotta stay tuned for the next video. All right, so as always, see you guys next time. Angelo out.